Whoops. All right, just getting this stream fired up. There we go. All right, should be live. We'll see notifications go out, start bringing people in. Just nothing really on the, plans for tonight, just here in the shop working on some stuff. So figured I would throw something up. What's going on? Everyone hear the audio? Can someone confirm that for me when they get a chance? Looks like, yep, good deal. Thank you. So yeah, like I said, nothing really planned for tonight. It does look like I need to move the camera a little bit further back, or the whole laptop, whatever it is. Let's we'll move it to this corner. Sorry, I'm sure that's annoying. Anyway, all right, let's see how that goes. All right. Audio's good. Good to hear. Looking to new Holmes Hobby Crawlmaster Sports because budget $550. Yeah, actually, I've got a box of those here that I put a 540 version of the Holmes Hobby Crawlmaster Sport in this one. But in general, those sports are, my Pringles can. The sports are good motors. They're just nice, reasonably priced. You don't have to worry too much about them. I'm using them in basically all of these flip that trucks just because they're simple motor to just throw in for an upgrade, especially this one I think had a super actually I can't even remember what this one had in it, but it was just a cheapy motor. So what's going on? Just venting tires due to weather. Thanks a bunch, guys. Thanks for everyone popping in. Hit the like button if you're just here. That way the whole stream goes better. Malaysia. Wow. So let's see. We have not got a good Capra crawl video yet. I went out today with my Capra actually, and we did some crawling. And I was editing the footage, and I just didn't like the footage. And honestly, it needed I need to tune it a little bit and then take it out again, just because I was not happy with how it crawled today at all. So I'll get a crawl video up, but just at this part have not been happy with it. So yeah, let's see what's going on, Rick. New Zealand, Quebec, Detroit, Texas, Singapore, man, all over. I should keep a list. I said that at one time. I wish there was a way to check off where everyone was coming from. Pros will be shipping as soon as Thursday. So they'll be shipping very soon. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, all of those days probably. So they'll be going soon. It's the first time I've ever noticed how squeaky my chair is, though. Sorry about that. I'm sure that's annoying. So yeah, anyway, but I've got this truck on the bench right now, at least. That's kind of what Oroville, that's not very far from me. Throw the rock from there. So I don't have a ton. This thing isn't going to be too far from done once I get this cage stripped and recoated. But a couple of things that I was looking at is I've got the speed control here that came out of it, and it's just a 1080 ESC, which is a fine ESC, nice one. But I want to come up with some kind of interesting or cool mount for this to put in here. So it's going to look at that a little bit. New Brunswick, Alaska. Nice. Delaware. Cage or bed? What do you mean by cage or bed? I prefer a cage style versus a bed style. So, but yeah. The other thing I still have to do on this thing is get this drive shaft cut down. With the Stealth X is a lot wider in the middle there, just because of the fact that it's got two final gears, so it kind of pushes it around. That's why it extended that rear drive shaft, and now I need to get it cut down because it's bottoming out and not letting it go down Do you think that the new Arma will be a X-Max kit? There's a new Arma? I missed it. If they announced one, I didn't see it. I am here to troll you. I'll make sure to not work on anything like you did, Matt, and struggle the whole time. Boom, roasted. Austria, LA, and so is pardon. Oh, perfect. Yeah, I thought you guys were supposed to be in Pennsylvania already. Oh, maybe you guys are. You're together already. Too bad there's not a show to update us on the new stuff. Yes, I do hope to get back to that. I needed a break and it was slow. So now that we'll get back into the swing of things. Kind of one of those times I needed a little bit of a break, but we'll come back to that. Supposedly it's a 1/5 scale Creighton. Ooh, that sounds kind of cool. News update, Harley Smalls. Thanks. I appreciate it. You guys are great. So yeah, the Capra today was a handful. I needed to do a little bit and really just wasn't happy with how it all came out. So I'll do a little bit to it, and being that we've got decent weather still, should be able to go take it out somewhere fun and do a decent video. Maybe I'll try and do that next weekend. So this weekend we had a ton of people out at Folsom Lake. We probably had, I don't know, a dozen people out there crawling today, and I wasn't focused on shooting. It just it was. Now there was no SPG Capra video. There was one from him. He even did running. Yes. There's free trucks. All of these are going to be free to the best comment of the night. No, not really. When's the next monthly mayhem? Matt and I both, I think, have a plan to do scale nationals this year. So I think that is going to impede or going to require a little bit of time to prepare instead of monthly mayhem, but maybe we can kind of loop it all into something. So the pros are shipping Thursday. Yes. Well, as early as Thursday. Could be a few days after that, depending on how, once all the orders are packed and ready to go out, but they'll be very soon. Dig or no dig, always dig, but a good dig. That Capra dig needs work too. VS410 chassis, VS610-2, and it is awesome. Yes, the VS410 chassis is awesome. The actually the other one that this is the other truck that I want to get some work done on. This is another VS410. It's not a pro, but it's almost like a pro. So this one is it's a VS410 chassis kit. This is the Chevy, I don't remember what body this is, but it's the Chevy step side body. It's like a 70 something, maybe an 80s. But it's a chassis kit, and then I put the VFD trans kit in it. And since it's the truck body, and with the VS410 chassis kit, I basically just took the battery plate and spun it 180 degrees and then bent the battery plate straight up. So it actually sits right against the back of the cab. I've been running 4-cell batteries, so I run them here on the side anyway. So that'll go there, and then I can cut this down and use it for some basic electronics things or anything like that. It still sits under the interior well, but in general, then this is just a real nice basic truck or not basic, it's a pretty nice truck. Let's see. Oh man, sorry, missing a bunch of them. Capra axles need to find their way onto a UMG kit. Yeah, I don't have one of those, but I don't know with how wide they are. I just don't know if it'd look good under that body. Let's see. Did you ever run the VS410 chassis with the TRX4 axles? What gearing did you run in that setup? So that truck is over. Oh, it's just out of camera view. That one right there. And it actually hasn't been ran yet. I need to run it. I also need to, there's just a handful of things I wanted to do on that. I'm actually thinking about taking the budget build truck, which is that one, TRX4 budget build, and taking the axles out of that and swapping them into that truck, just because they were, built. They had underdrive and overdrive already. Those gears are hard to find. They had chromoly shafts, so I could just throw everything in there and basically just have completely built axles. I haven't ran that truck though because I want to do some cage work on the bed area and just haven't found the time. So yeah, oops. Oof. Two-piece Lexan really stretching your creative muscles. Thanks. Yes. There's 3 pieces. There's an interior in it. Ha! Getting fancy. Was there an event today at Folsom? Kind of. It was unofficial, but there was, 15 or 20 of us out there. What do I think about the Traxxas Summit? I don't know. Not a truck I really would. How did you bend the battery tray? With my hand. Just bent it. It's pretty easy. It's not that hard to bend. That's cool. What's the price on the transmission? This transmission's $109. So you can buy that. It comes with the skid plate, and then you can just basically bolt it into the chassis kit. So it's a pretty simple deal, really. UMG 10s are freaking awesome. I haven't got one. I don't like the short wheelbase, but it's okay. It's just not my favorite one. Let's see. The announcement on the new arm is the 21st of November. I'll have to keep an eye out. I've got my infraction right over there on the shelf that I've driven once and then have never driven again. So probably not something I really need to do. And then my Arma, what's the other one I have? Outcast is at the shop still. Build a Traxxas Max crawler. Okay. Richard. Tasmania, the island off the bottom of Australia. Whew. How's your internet speeds there? Let's see. When you're doing the Enduro conversion to the VS410 chassis kit, can the VFD transmission be used? No, because it needs an offset front axle. And since that Enduro axle centered, it'd get the drive shaft would be in the way all the time. Let's see. What do you think about the Element? I like it. I got one over there. So it's fun. I don't drive it a bunch because I have a bunch of other trucks that I really like to drive, but it's a nice truck. What's a good beginner crawler? A TRX4 Sport, a Honcho, an Element. Either one of those 3 would be, I would say, stay away from Red Cat. Stay away from Charisma, some of those. Just stay with one of those 3 kind of main ones. You'll find good support, lots of stuff. Be a good setup for you. You wouldn't be disappointed with any of those 3. What size crawler innovation foams do you suggest in the Axial S610-JK? Depends on the tires. So, I've done a bunch of videos on foams though, so you can do the stainless steel 1.9 brake weights fit the Capra. If you have SLW compatible hubs and then you use 350 hubs with those, then you could. Let's see. You're going to be doing anything with the Traxxas on UDR? I do not have a UDR, so probably not. What's going on, Mr. Marquez? Let's see. Whew. There we go. The truck I installed the Stealth X transmission in, did you install the steel gears or leave the plastic gears? Have you driven it and had any problems? That one, which is wherever I just set it on the ground over here, still has the plastic ones in it. However, so does my Enduro that I got, the first one, and haven't had any issues with it. So, they're pretty decent plastic gears, and it's running brushed power still, so it's probably going to be just fine. Let's see. Just about to build my Capra. Do you have spring shock opinion? Probably get 90mm shocks. I don't like the internal sprung stuff. I don't like that style of shock setup, so it's not something I would run. Any 5-slot Holmes Hobby budget motors on order? I don't know what you mean. I've got I have lots of them here, so I don't need to order any, but you can probably, you can probably find some. Tell a joke. Oof. I don't know. I don't know any jokes that are appropriate for my YouTube channel. Let's see. You think we will get any more big releases before Christmas? Ooh, that's a good question. We're getting pretty close to a time where something like that would need to be announced. So I would say no. When you got the VS410 chassis together and got the shocks on it, had to mount the shocks on the link mount instead of the normal position. Is there a way around that? I don't know what you mean. Normally it should work just fine. It works fine on just about everything that I've done it on, I think. Let's see. You're crazy with the mountainside video. That one was a little much. Putting Halloween stuff away. Listen. Oh, hey, office in the background. Perfect. Is Vanquish going to make any upgraded parts for the Enduro? Probably. Yes, probably. So, Dry Creek, the Squirrel Fest stuff, that was a good time. Michael, welcome. We're going to do anything with the 112 scale ECX Barrage? No, that one's not for me. So I don't see myself doing anything with that. I'll give a shout out to your potato, Mr. Potato. Let's see. What did you 3D print for this truck? So far, for the flip that truck, I assume you mean, probably not this one. But let's put some of this way. So I'll do a video on it next, and I'll cover it in that one. But I talked about it a little bit. So I've got these plates here, and these plates have a design in it. Now one is concave and one's convex to make basically a stamp. So if I put aluminum between these and then press them together, then I get aluminum that comes out in a design like that. So it's a stamped design. It kind of looks like a basically if you're familiar with hot rod stuff, there's something called bead rolled panels. They kind of take a flat sheet, they do a pattern around it, it stiffens up the panel, it gives it a cool look. Anyway, that is what I've done there. Now, this one was done actually with super crazy thin aluminum. This is like aluminum foil. So that is not the actual one that I'm using. The one that I did is in here. You can see. And that is 025 thick aluminum. However, it's a softer aluminum than the normal stuff that I use. So it's actually it's super easy. But this is the aluminum here. So it's substantially thick, it's twice the thickness of a dime. So fairly thick aluminum. But it's softer. You can kind of get it to bend a lot easier than this is the typical 025 aluminum that I would use. And, you're not going to be able to tell how rigid something is here. But if I put some pressure down on it, kind of comes back. However, on this one, if I were to do that same thing and put some pressure on it, it just stayed down. It's just a lot softer. So I'll have a video on that. I plan to use that a decent amount on this truck on the rear. And then, like I said, I'll cover it in a full video. But that one's going to be fun. So, all right, I got to go back up because I missed a bunch. Let's see. How's the torque twist on the 410? Pretty low. I mean, I run mine a lot. Why do I not like the Red Cat? Because I just don't like the quality. Do I get extra points for watching Joshua working on my SVG scale truck? Project Build Off. They're having a build off? I didn't know that. Favorite episode of The Office? Identity theft one. That was my favorite. Bears, Beats, and Battlestar Galactica. What motor and ESC combo would you recommend for a sporty RC? I've been out of that a while. I wouldn't be the one to give you the best recommendation. Christmas trees. Let's see. Vanquish Porsche transmission and dig. Well, there you go. So when's this 40,000 case? Yes, I did hit 40,000 subs. That should be fun. Maybe I'll do a bunch of giveaways so I can hit 50,000 subs rather than doing it for what I just hit, you know. You try the gyro screwdriver. I've been using, yes, that's the one that I use here. So I'm the one who got Matt to buy it. So, you know, he was behind the times. Is Vanquish making aluminum axles for the Capra? Currently, we do not have them made. So maybe we will, but, you know. Let's see. I know. Give me stuff. Let's see. How did your panel pressing go? I probably just catching up on comments that weren't. Hard body. I may do a hard body for my Sorka Nationals, maybe just for class 1. Probably it. Matt was even trying to talk me into leaf springs. Let's see. What do I think about the Capra axle design? It's fine. I don't mind the width. Where am I from? I was at Folsom today. I am from the area around Folsom. I was at Folsom today as well. What vintage buggy is that on the shelf? That is a That's the Kyosho Ultima. It's the repop though. It just came out. So got it built up, got it all painted and done like like you're supposed to. So I painted it the colors. I think the only thing I did different was I think the driver's head's supposed to be red and I didn't have red paint, so I painted it blue. But beyond that, it almost looks like and I even did the interior in 3 colors like you're supposed to. That's pretty good for me. So yeah, kind of fun. I've never done one of those before. Let's see. Where are we at? Build hard. Do I drive truggies? No, I don't drive either of those. I do have an 8-scale buggy here on the floor that I haven't opened yet. Let's see. So there was that Ultima box. So after the monthly Mayhem Kyosho was happy with Matt and I's work, and they sent us a few other things to play with. Matt got a Mini Z and an Ultima. I got the Ultima. And then I got this big thing, which is a Inferno Neo 3.0. So it's big and it's supposed to go fast, I suppose. So yeah, it's a brushless RTR 8-scale buggy basher thing. So, everybody should have stuff like that to play with, right? So I need to, and then they also sent this thing, which is the Alpine. This is just kind of a inexpensive RTR, but it's actually kind of fun. And it's got fairly deep, it's got light buckets in the body, in the back, and in the front. This one's a brushed truck, but should still be fun. I'll find something to do with it. Should be a grand old time. All right. Geez, come on. Where in California do I live that I can go up to Donner so much? I live near Sacramento, so Donner's only 2 hours away. I will drive 2 hours to go to Donner anytime. I don't get driving 2 hours is not a big deal for me. I'm fine with that. It's probably 2.5. Let's see. When's the / drag car build starting? So I'm hoping to start a drag car. in maybe the next week or two, but I'm going to use the DB10. So that's the same platform that Matt and I used for the failed flying car mayhem. But I think I'm going to use the trophy rat version and do kind of just keep it fun and simple. I know it won't actually fit all of the no prep rules, but for around here, it should be pretty fun. And then I'll get a body done so I could do it whenever, you know, blah, blah, blah. If he builds a hard body for C2, I'll eat my hat. Oh. Now I have to look at that. I need to screenshot that. Or how about like not a screenshot, but a screenshot? Okay, now I have proof. Because that's going to be, let's see, WYM. I have no idea what that means. Why is there a disclaimer about fitting Proline tires and Vanquish 105? That's kind of, so those are an older wheel style. It's been up for a long time, and Proline tires used to be like notoriously super thick beads. So they were a lot tougher. Most of it's been removed from most wheels just because Proline's kind of redone all of their beads. They're easy to mount on almost anything. Anyway, so why no Cross RC reviews? I had the Cross GC4, and it was okay. You know, in general, their stuff's kind of like RC four-wheel drive stuff to me. And if I'm going to buy something like that, I would just buy RC four-wheel drive. So I prefer them over the Cross RC stuff. Some of the stuff they do, I still just, you know, don't care for. And if I was going to have a truck kind of built like that, I would just go with RC four-wheel drive. You should do some more stamps with dimple dies for yes. So I do plan to do that. And basically it shouldn't be too hard, because what I'll do is, like with this, I've got a couple of pilot holes down there in the bottom. So when I set this up initially, I usually take the aluminum. I put the stamp on top of it, drill those couple of holes, and then put the bottom one on and put a couple of screws through it just to hold it all in place. So if I was I would do that with the first one, mark where the dimples would go, drill those out to a pilot hole size first, and then just build the dimple die stamp right into, you know, the male side of the mold. Come in there, and it should make for a really easy dimple dyed look. So that's definitely on the plans as well. I think I'm going to stamp a set of Capra panels. I saw someone else had posted that they used the dye idea and did a set of Capra panels, and it actually looked pretty good. So I might do the same. Let's see. Looking to get my first crawler, debating on an enduro build kit or TRX4. You know, either way, you're going to find a pretty decent community of, you know, of resource stuff. You know, it's kind of a thing. Do you want portals or do you not want portals? You know, especially for your first crawler, I don't know. It's a hard decision. Typically, I kind of like to usually lean more towards cars that aren't portals, but then I also have portal cars that I think are fun. So my UC Fab car isn't here. My Carnivore isn't here anymore. So, you know, that's how I usually like to set up a portal car. But like I said, it's not here. I actually sent it back to Utah for now. Out of all rigs in the room right now, which is my favorite and why? So that's a tricky question, because a lot of my favorite rigs are not in this room. So the rigs that are in this room right now are the Flip That Truck. Then we've got, let's see, adjusting. My Ripper, which probably be pretty close to one of my favorites. We've got, that is the TRX4 Sport budget build off. Next to it's the 1.9 Wraith. That is the TRX4 and the VS410. This one's a new one with the VS410 chassis, VFD transmission, and the MST JP1 body. That one's going to be kind of fun. Enduro. Oh, might be my favorite right there. Dancing Rider. Ultima. Drag Bolt. Might be the Drag Bolt. Drag Bolt might be my favorite in here. Stock TRX4 Sport, definitely not my favorite. TRX4 Sport Mud Truck. And then that is the that one is the Origin Black kit that we used in the videos. And then that is my original test truck. This was my original test rig when we were building the VFD transmission. So it's got a Tekin Pro 4 in it. You know, it's the, like I said, I have only, yeah, it's got a raw VS410 chassis in it. You can see that? It's how it all rusted. Kind of fun. Just raw axles, just grab stuff for testing. I built this cage. It was actually one of the first cages that I had built back out here. So I was just, trying to get the hang of things again and play around with it. So definitely not something I'm necessarily proud of the work on, but it was a fun truck to build. And it actually looked cool when it was done. The body on it got so thrashed that I just had to throw it away. So I think I'm actually going to take the electronics out of this one and put them into that Chevy truck that we were just looking at. And then this cage will go away somewhere, and I'll just hold on to the platform until I think of a purpose for it again in the future. Let's see. Could it potential for a Tesla-inspired scale rig truck? Yeah, I hear they're going to reveal something soon. Local comp season goes. Oh, cool. That local comp season looks like your first. It should be fun. I do miss comping, so I'm looking forward to doing the scale stuff, or the scale nationals, just because I do miss the competition side. Congrats on 40K. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see. Do you drive, or have you ever used an RC basher? I have some. I've got my, what's the Arma I just said I had? Outcast. That's my most basher-like basher. And then I've got Arma Infraction, which I've driven once. Starbucks or Dutch Brothers? Honestly, I prefer Starbucks over Dutch Brothers. Mainly because when I go to get coffee, I'm tired, and the people at Dutch Brothers have like 10 times too much energy. I can't handle it until after I've had coffee. What's my current go-to RC car? My VS410 Pro with the portal in the rear, just because it's super fun and it's just the car I like to drive. Holy crap, I'm so far behind on comments. All right, we're going to catch up. No, I'm not. There's too many comments. Wow. Let's see. Love to see more of the TRX4 mud truck sometime. That truck is going to get a new set of bearings, and then it's going to get sold, because I do not. That was one video and done with that one. JJ Customs, thanks for popping in. I have to make it over to their store. JJ Customs is a store in San Jose, which is only a couple hours from me, but I have not made it over there yet. I will do that. Next budget build, I have a Viterra Center Ford Bronco that I'm selling for $250-ish. I imagine you mean for the flip that truck, but Viterras have very little resale value. So I have stayed away from picking up Viterras. I got the incision method in 37. Can I use Vanquish weights on the Capra? So no, the incision wheels are not compatible with Vanquish weights. Their incision hubs are different than Vanquish hubs. BGR Fab chassis. I've never owned one, but they look like they're done well. Let's see. Will I be competing in Las Vegas at Xena Scale Nationals? Yes, I hope to be competing in all 3 classes, but we'll see. A lot of work. Did I go to SEMA? I did not. Just got chewed by your boss for watching this. What time is it? It's 8 o'clock here. Where we work. Has anyone built a leaf sprung VFD? Ooh, I don't know. I know Richard, who's in here, built a leaf sprung VS410 that's actually for sale right now for $900. If anybody would like to get it, pretty good deal for a hard body custom thing built by the dumpster man himself. So if he hasn't already sold it, you should buy that one. But anyway, it should be able to direct swap or bolt in. The VFD shouldn't have any effect on the leaf springs for as much as I know. I don't know. Leaf springs are weird. Let's see. Weird one. Would you want to do an XR10 build even though it isn't scale? I mean, I used to do a ton of XR10 stuff. I used to compete all the time. So I think probably some of my early videos on this channel are on the XR10, but it was a long time ago. That was kind of before I did a lot of videos. Let's see. I feel like that should be lime green with 2 eyes to be a Toy Story RC car. I wish I knew which one you were talking. Oh, I imagine you're talking about the Kyosho because I'm probably that far behind. I need it to my XB01. That's the, I think I've seen those guys do the rally stuff with that. Where did I get that shelf to for? Oh, that's from IKEA. They're called the Lack shelves. What's on my Christmas list this year? Man, I've got just about everything already. I'm pretty hard to buy from. I do want a new set of AirPods. There we go. How about that? Oh. I was thinking about building up a hard body. Should I be concerned about the extra weight? I mean, they are heavier. Yeah. Or how brittle they are. What are my thoughts on hard belly? You know, Proline Gladiator body. I've heard a little bit about it, but I have not actually seen it. Harley has a soft body. Perfect. Thanks, Richard. What's a good company to buy RC hard bodies from? I'm not the guy to ask. I'll eat my hat too if Harley was to build a hard body truck. If it's on leaf springs, I'll have my shirt for dessert. That's kind of funny. I mean, you know, why not? I should, just because. Wow, we have a lot of comments. Who am I catching up? Where are we go? Let's see. Why does Vanquish always on back order? Because people buy the stuff that we make. It's not like we don't make it. It just gets bought. You gotta check dealers. Let's see. Chili's is the new golf course. It's where business happens. Oh, great episode. Bloomin' onions. Everyone, let's order a bloomin' onion for the table. What is the next monthly mayhem? I don't have that answer. I don't know yet. I think we need to make something go across water. I really want to build an actual plane. I think, but Matt does not like my plane idea. Or we need to revisit the drag bolt 2.0. Let's see. Any thoughts on the C2X? Not really. I mean, it's another option. It's pretty basic SCX 10.1 stuff. 4-door Toyota body, if you like that. The rear bed, I don't like. I think it was just something that kind of got done quick and on the cheap. So, got the job done, but I would have to have a real idea in mind to use it. Let's see. Maybe a hard body dumpster and put that on. Oh, if I could, I need to figure out a reason to use a dumpster on a vehicle, because that would not a garbage truck. Let's see. Let's see. Cool seeing you in Visalia. I was there for the RC Four-Wheel Drive event. Hope to see you next year. Expect much cooler trails next time. I didn't actually get a chance to do any of the trails at that event. I kind of just hung out at the tent, the Vanquish tent all day, and just talked to people. The trails were quite a long ways away, and that it would have been nice if they were a little closer. I could have just jumped on one and got back. Matt would crash the plane into Lake Ontario, so it would be So it would only be a good challenge if it was about to crash the hardest into the lake. Oh my God. Will Vanquish SEX-10 axles fit a UMG 10? Yes. Am I getting the Hero 8? Yes, probably. I haven't ordered it yet. I want to get the media expansion kit that they're making for it, which is going to have like the microphone, built into it, which would actually just save me a lot of hassle. The GoPro microphone adapter sucks so bad. It makes the camera glitchy. Yeah. Hey, will you confirm that this is live for my daughter Serenity? Yes, it is live, Chris Bumpus. I would buy the Gladiator body to make a scale replica of my Gladiator. Well, I hate you because I want a Gladiator. Let's see. Dragbolt 2.0, 132 feet timed, just outright. Wait, not timed, just outright speed. So just a limited distance, but the fastest speed. So likely it would be the fastest timed, but still speed. And then how would you know? Because you would have to get the clock right at the time. I guess you'd have to you'd have to come up with some scale traps to actually calculate the speed, or because, how would you know that you let off right at 132 feet? That would be tough. Who is going to open the door to Serious Snowmobile RC? That's been a question for a long time. I just don't know. I just don't know if enough people would, I think that's why the only one that's ever really been done is not a snowmobile really, but the Snow Cat of the Kyosho Blizzard. So North Carolina, let's see. I'll build you a dumpster if you put it on the back of the truck that isn't a garbage truck. I will build a scale flatbed truck to carry a noob dumpster. Done. Let's see. Finally see a live one. Thanks for joining. Saskatchewan, hello. Scale news update, yes. I need to just start it back. I'm thinking maybe I'll try and do it tomorrow night. So next Tuesday, bring it back. We'll see. Any big differences between the SX-10-2 1955 Ford and the 2017 Wrangler? I don't know what the main differences on those are. I don't know which axles and things like that. The Wrangler had the metal transmission gears, the 3-piece axles, universals, all that stuff. So that one was a pretty good buy. I don't know which items they included or took out from that Ford. So I actually don't know that for sure. Have you met Rich Dumperbash? I don't know who that is. So probably not. Or I don't know his screen name. You thinking about getting the new Orlando Max? That's like that little cell phone size one. Probably not. Yeah, probably not. I'm sitting at work. My shift just started. Hey, what do you know? Perfect. Hopefully you don't get fired. Let's see. Jeep Gladiators are cheap in Florida and discounted. Oof. My wife and I left the RC 4-wheel drive event in Visalia, went up to the Sequoia National Forest, had, stopped at the General, world's largest tree, something like that. Did that, and then we were coming down. We stopped at a big cat, or just a cat sanctuary in general. Kind of cool. Saw a bunch of cats. And then we were driving down, and just east of Fresno, my Jeep quit. So we were stranded in Fresno for the night. Good thing we had AAA. Picked us up. Anyway, had it towed to a dealership where the next day, then they looked at it. And while they were looking at it, I went looking at the Gladiators, of course, and had $10,000 in dealer markup on them. So they are not discounted here. It was $42,000 for the Jeep with $10,000 markup, $52,000. I wish someone would make the Sherp RC model. That thing is kind of crazy, that big tires super close together. You think Gen 8 axles can handle a Trailmaster brushless? I don't think Gen 8 axles can handle standard brushed motors. So probably not. Start doing news on everything going on in the RC world, not just the crawler side. The reason I don't do that is because I don't know that side of the stuff. So I like doing the scale news because I can have a little bit of an opinion on the things that are there, where the other stuff, I just feel like somebody who shouldn't be talking about a certain topic is, blah, blah, blah. So that's why I don't do it. And, for just all industry news, there's, stuff. So plus it's a lot of work as it is to do them, and doing all the other things is, let's see. Let's see. An hour and a half before the bosses get there. Good thing. Jeep thing problems. Yes. What it actually turned out to be, we were driving down the road and I got a battery voltage light, and I was like, if that happened, I was guessing that I lost an alternator. So we just we're going another 15 minutes and then nothing, everything shut, coasted to the side, had it towed to a Jeep dealership. Anyway, they found that the alternator wire between the alternator and the battery, which went behind the intake manifold, and I couldn't actually visually see because I checked it just to make sure it wasn't loose, had got chewed through by a rodent while we were at RC4 Drive, most likely, or at our hotel or something like that. Awesome. Let's see. Enjoying the chat. Any interest in scale short course Baja trucks like metal frame, trailing arm, scale setup? Interest, yes. Like actual scale, cool and all that. It's just like, since there's not one available, it would have to be building one, which is just a whole lot of extra work for all of the other projects that I already have. So therefore, that's why I have never done it. Let's see. Someone who 3D print. Let's see. Is the SCX 24 aftermarket going to last? I don't know. 24 scale stuff can be kind of a flash in the pan, but it's Axial, so it's got a better chance than anything, I would say. If you guys didn't watch Matt's 1/24th scale 3D printed conversion thing, that thing was pretty awesome. Makes me want to do that. Granted, then he showed all like that detail painting and all that stuff that he did, and then it immediately made me think that I don't want to do that anymore. Let's see. I was listening to some of your old live feeds, working on my TF2. Now live. Hey, what do you know? I didn't know that anybody ever watched old live feeds. Thought they only watched them when they were live. Let's see. I'm looking for a set of 1/8 scale. I'm guessing scale steering axles for a rock bouncer project I have to go. Any ideas? Look for a Kyosho Mad Force or Twin Force. Those are super wide axles. You can actually narrow them down really easily if you wanted. So go with those. Super easy. I've used them in the past. What engine would you reimburse for an Axial Wraith to I'm guessing you mean what motor would I recommend for an Axial Wraith? It depends. Depends if you're doing brushed or brushless. And I have a Wraith budget build from way back in the day. Poison Spider one was my very first budget build, actually. You should go watch that. That was a good one. I looked at a Jeep Gladiator for $4,000 off sticker. Oof. Not bad. I think everything should be $4,000 off just for coming to Florida. Is it four-wheel drive? Because I've seen a lot of two-wheel drive stuff in Florida. Rats hate Jeeps. Toyota Zuna. Airbrush or rattle can? Go, and why? Well, I have a stack of rattle cans down there. Oh, and some up there. I'm trying to be like Matt with my paint cans in the background. Can you tell? But I also have a Ripper hood up there. How about that? Boom. And grill. See, that's the Ripper grill, and that's a Ripper hood. Those are blems, both of them. It's like a cool piece of wall art to have, isn't it? Started as 9 pounds. And then it's just this little thin metal hood. Coolest wall art ever. Do all Vanquish SCX 10.2 parts UMG I don't know what you mean. That is not a complete question. Bring some trucks up here to Alaska. We have some pretty good terrain. Ooh, I want to, yeah. Alaska, it's on the list. I have 2 Clodbuster lockers. Would I have ever considered building a Clod? I've built 2, or built 1, owned 2 Clodbuster based crawlers. One was a super. It was like an old famous one called the Copperhead. And then I built a 2.2 stick chassis Clodbuster way back. Are the TRX4 portal gears sturdy? Top gears are a little brittle. 200 for a 24 scale. You know, look how much work goes into it and all that. Like, it's only money. You can always make more. If it's cool, why not? Will I make a review for the CCO2? I would like to know my opinion. I would probably look at owning a CCO2 when it doesn't come with that Mercedes body. And not because I don't like the Mercedes bodies, which I don't, but it's because of all of the freaking stickers and masking that it looks like it takes. So, yeah. So I think we should enjoy Matt's build for now. And then when they come up with something that's more of a intermediate level, maybe that's my time to enter. Who won the last monthly Mayhem challenge? Definitely me. I think we all, yeah, that was me. Pretty sure. What's the flip that truck budget going to jump to? Ooh, I don't know. That's a good question. I have to see how this thing's going to end up, because I don't know how it's going to end up yet, you know. And in the end, it's still got a brushed motor and some steel wheels. But I think that this truck's going to look pretty good. I'm going to put a VS 410 front bumper on it, and then get the chassis painted so it looks pretty decent. And then it should drive well. It's going to have decent shocks. So, you know, the axles are still stock though. So I don't know. I'm going to see what we can get out of it. It's going to have to be a little bit more expensive, but I think in the end it's going to look good. And we've got a Toyota body on it now. So, you know, I think that's going to make a big difference with how this thing actually looks now. So I just have to find out if I'm going to paint it or not paint it. Maybe just leave it clear. Oh, that's Ben. Yeah, Ben was the one who sold me the first one. So thanks, Ben. Who are those Funko Pop figures? Oh, we have Kevin Malone with the pot of chili, Michael Scott, and Dwight Schrute. See, why do I dislike brass so much? Because of how much people overuse it for what it should be. I don't like to add brass unless it's absolutely needed. You know, like you really have, but people are just like, I'm just going to buy all the brass and put all the brass on. I'm going to put brass diff covers on, which is a terrible place for brass. I'm going to put brass knuckles and C-hubs and extra weights and then bumper mounts. And, you know, I did figure out what I'm going to do to cure everyone of their brass addiction, though, is I'm going to make brass XT60 plugs and we're going to cure everybody's addiction. Can the Yeti still be a champ, or was it ever? I mean, I watched it win a lot of U4 stuff. So, you know, if that's am I a boomer? I am a millennial. Sorry. I'm actually a millennial right at the beginning, but I guess technically it still puts me in that group, that 80s birthday time. Matt's a boomer. Pretty sure Matt's a boomer. Maybe that should be our next one, you know, boomers versus millennials. Will we ever see some 5-spoke 1.9 Vanquish wheels in the future? 5-spoke. Well, let's see. I mean, possibly. Who knows? Probably someday, right? Just depends on who makes a 1-to-1 version that is made in a beadlock style that looks good that we want to work with. Do all Vanquish SCX10 two parts fit the UMG10? Oh, that's probably the question. As long as it's made for like a kit transmission, which that one has. But as far as the Axial stuff, all that will fit. All the shock towers will fit. So yes. I'm not even going to dignify your claim of winning with a response. Yes, that is Matt's conceit to my victory of the monthly Mayhem Challenge. I'm building a VS410 Pro with TRX4 Sport axles. Nice. I actually like that setup up there. If you're building it with the Pro, you'll have the VFD. You will have to space the upper link. Not too hard, though. How about you do a 1/14th scale Tamiya drag or race truck for monthly Mayhem? Tamiya drag. Let's see. Oh, you mean like the King haulers? Ooh, that would be fun. I can only imagine the crunchiness of those pot metal ring gears that they make. What am I drinking? LaCroix, sparkling water in my favorite grapefruit flavor. Judge me as you. That's how millennial I am. My sparkling water. SCX24 monthly Mayhem. I told Matt we should do the drag bolt 2.0 with the 1/24th drag bolt. See if we can hit 6. Do I ever make off-road crawling with my real JK? You know, we've got some pretty interesting places to get to out here that take the use of 4-wheel drive or 4-low. And, we went out 8 Mile Road all the way to Fordyce on Thursday. So it was a long trip back there where the JK got a workout. Have I ever installed a brass monkey? That funky monkey. Let's see. How old am I? I'm 35. What year is it? 35, 36. 30, yes, 36. Zennial is a thing I hear. I think maybe that's where, I don't know. They always want to keep making up new ones to make you fit in a different one. Who knows? Would you ever try another chassis besides VS410, like the Crawl Space Game Changer Contender? I hate flat rail chassis. Flat rail chassis were cool when we didn't have C-channel chassis, but now we can have like scale chassis. So why are we going back to flat rail chassis? I designed the X-Trail chassis way back in like 2007. Sold thousands of them because there was no such thing as a SCX10 at the time. Then the SCX10 came out and I was like, oh, okay, I don't need to use the chassis I designed that's a flat plate because now there's something much better available and more scale. I don't like flat plate chassis. Let's see. A boomer. What the fuck? Really? Holy no. Yes, I do not. This new meme trend of boomers and millennials. That's crazy. The monthly Mayhem idea. The worst RC possible. No rules, just wrong in every direction. Oh, that's a good idea, Greg. That's a tough. The hard part about that one is trying to talk to some RC company to give us RC cars to then turn into the worst RC ever. About where am I located? In Sacramento, California. If you didn't know where that was, Northern California. Tamiya semi build off does sound awesome. It does. It does sound awesome. And it would be fun to try and make fast. Man, I'm just thinking about those bodies just shattering, though. Ugh. It would be really fun, though. I love that you're doing that. Yeah, there you go. Question and answer is always fun. Switching my flat chassis to Vanquish chassis kit, I shall be cured from flat chassis-itis. Do I think Vanquish, where are we going? Will ever make molded body panels and axle? Do I think Vanquish will ever make molded body panel and axles? I don't know what. Oh, you just mean like cast? doubt it. Oh, do you mean molded like plastic? I don't know what you mean for sure. Did anyone see that the Arma X Max killer pick? I did. It did look bigger. People were talking about that. I haven't actually seen it. I almost have to look it up now just to see. Yeah. Let's see. All right. Thanksgiving turkey, roasted, fried, or smoked? Regular, old school, roasted. It's the best because then you can make awesome sandwiches. It's the best. Do I have any more plans for the drag bolt? Like, if we don't revisit it officially, I am revisiting it myself because I want to hit 70 with that car. I know it can do it. That car needs a lot of work because I have beat the crap out of it off-road and it's all just destroyed underneath. So it needs a lot of work. Let's see. Looking to get a starter kit for my grandson. What do you suggest? I'll say that the TRX4 Sport is a very durable truck once you put a servo in it. And if you're looking at a kid who maybe isn't as insanely, going to be driven on performance, it's a really good truck. And it's going to be almost, put a decent servo in that thing and you're going to be in good shape. So it's probably not always my preference. I kind of like how an SCX-10-2 drives or an Enduro drives even better than those, than a TRX4 Sport. But probably not looking to be always wrenching on a, younger child's car. Probably a good one. Where all the crazy drivers live, Sacramento. Yes. Dion found a video from Citrus Heights, which is like one of the neighborhoods not too far from our shop. And just seriously, drivers here are the worst thing you've ever seen, though. Hopefully audio is still good. I didn't notice that I was not speaking anywhere near the microphone. Maybe use a Red Cat Gen 8. Yeah. I assume you're talking about for that idea of the monthly mayhem we were just discussing. I missed sights of the truck. Hold her up. I think we're really making it look better. I assume you mean the, so. It's looking good so far. It'll come along. I think we're in good shape. Let's see. Oh, I put it on. I have dueling laptops going in here right now. Set it right on top of the other one. Let's see. All brass dancing rider 5x5 mud truck. You can use a TT01 race truck body. It's polycarbonate, but you would have to do it with a semi chassis. See, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Get the Tamiya plastic body, like the Buggy Raw or the just the regular race truck one. Yeah, that would be interesting. Tell me about drift chassis. Can I take an older oof? I'm not the drift person you should be asking for. Thoughts on the new Mavic Mini? It's nice that it's small. For me, I like my Mavic Pro just because I like the size. I like to be able to just send it out there, 2,000, 2,500, 3,000 feet from me, not worry about the wind or anything like that. Lots of battery life, 3-axis gimbal. But to be able to have something that's just small and portable, pretty nice. I know Matt is going to dabble with that one. Did I borrow Johnny Carson's mic? This is an Audio Technica. Oops, I don't know what I just did, but it's actually a nice microphone. It's not my normal mic. My normal mic is overhead. See, but it doesn't plug into my laptop. This is a USB mic that does plug into my laptop. Grass Valley, bunch of sweet bash spots up here. Yes, there's a bunch of good spots near Grass Valley. I like to go up that way. So we crawl up there quite a bit. Let's see. If I think we have bad drivers here, try coming to Bakersfield. I challenge Bakersfield drivers to drive as bad as Sacramento. I dare them. They're terrible here. I'm jealous of the nice scenery where I live. South Houston, flatter. Yes. So I come from the Midwest, though, which has all of that terribly flat, boring terrain. So I'm spoiled out here, and I just drive to it, and it's amazing. Are the front portal weights worth $80? I don't know. Depends. How much is $80 worth to you? If you make $5 an hour, maybe not. If you make $80 an hour, it's how there's lots of ways to put weight in things where you're really worried about. I don't like to add a bunch of weight, but the TRX4 needed a little bit, not as much as a lot of people want to use. Do you know in person DJ Medic? I do not. What is your opinion about his way to see the hobby? I don't really know. His style of video isn't one that I enjoy watching myself, so I don't, but I mean, he puts out a lot of content, has a lot of fun. So if he's having fun, I don't know. It's just not my style of content. So I think it's more, I don't know. Looks like he's having fun. Looks like he's got big fun toys. So it is what it is. Hear me out. Vanquish tires, but wheels. So instead of mounting rubber tires, have a bunch of baby doll arms on them. Can you imagine me going to the store looking like this and buying what do you suppose that would take? Probably gonna need an arm, 2 arms this close. So you're probably gonna need at least 12 arms at least per wheel. So that's 6 babies. So I need 24 babies to make my baby arm tires. It's gonna look weird. Plus the cost. How much does a baby doll cost? I mean, it's gonna be a pretty expensive set of tires. Will the VS4 Pro Kit be out soon? Yes. Like Thursday, Friday. Should be shipping real close to around then. Do you have a Johnny Carson's 70s outfit? I definitely don't. All I can think of him in is a gray suit. Just hanging out in Portland, Oregon. What do you know? I am in Sacramento still. Do a drift hauler with dual axles. So I've actually seen, or actually one of the local guys here has a, is it the Globe Liner, which is the flat nose? So he's got the flat nose version with drift tires and drifts it around with a big stick radio. So I've actually seen that done. That would be pretty easy with that one. Low stress, easy on the car. In general, that one would be like a no-brainer type situation. Do I have a collection of rare discontinued Vanquish parts? I would like to collect parts here and there, so I wanted to ask someone with access to the brand first. I don't. I mean, just a lot of the stuff that people are looking like, we sold it all. We don't have it, or it got thrown away. You should see there was a lot of stuff that got thrown away that then became rare. Let's see. What's a good link upgrade for an SCX-10-2 RTR? The Vanquish incision links. Stainless link set, good rod ends. Best one you can buy for the money, especially. Can you make a how-to video on assembling a 3D printed Jeep body with a light kit install? No, I cannot, because I don't do 3D printed bodies. Matt, I think when he did his Jeep Comanche, maybe he did videos on how he sanded and painted and filled and sanded and go look for one of his videos. Brass baby arms. Wow. Do I have any take on why some public lands parks don't allow RC activity? Because this isn't the RC that they're picturing. They're picturing they're picturing these things with, lots of power and hitting kids in the foreheads. So they're making a rule that says no motorized vehicles, but they're picturing this, not that. So it is what it is. Be nice to park rangers. They're just doing their job. how can I get a VS410 Pro before anyone else? I know a guy. Matt can be my Ed McMahon. The guy with the big checks? Was he on Johnny Carson? I didn't actually watch Johnny Carson. That was kind of before me. Do you know / know of RC Lemonade? No. His Instagram. I've seen his Instagram burnout videos, but that's about all. What has been your worst modification? Modification that you regret about? I don't know. That's a tough. If I really regretted it, I figured I'd just take it back off, or I don't know. I don't really anything I do. I'm just like, just redo it, do it again, do something different. Happens. Sometimes you like them, sometimes you don't. Just start over. Have I ever ran into a problem with a slipper eliminator on the VFD not mounting up even on the top shaft? No. Not sure what you mean. So that's a hard one to say through a chat. Tractor pull. Matt and I have talked about tractor pulls before. We would just have to come up with an easy way to make a similar repeatable type situation so that we could, compete from 3,000 miles away. Let's see. Think plaid pants. I don't know what that means. Oh, I guess you're talking about 70s outfit. What's my take on cheaper drive shafts than MIP? Drive shafts are very important. I go with something decent. MIP, Vanquish, one of those. MIP's always worked well for me, but now I only run the VP ones. So drag semi it is. I like that idea. I'm not opposed to it. What's my thoughts on Vanquish rigid light bars and a good way to mount them on a tube chassis? If you're making a tube chassis, just weld tabs, bolt them on. Pretty simple as far as that goes. I mean, if you're making a tube chassis already, just make some tabs. Do you think Axial will ever come out with another 2.2 rig? I mean, ever? Possibly, but right now 2.2 is just dead. So, I worry how long the bomber will be around. But, maybe, I guess I'm guessing that they'll bring back the SMT10. They've been posting enough about it, so I assume that will come back. Has anyone ever told you that you look a lot like the guy from Harley Designs? Least favorite car in my room? That's a good question. The stock red TRX4 Sport. I mean, that's probably a cop-out answer, but beyond that, I mean, I would, if I wasn't going to, I've got this RTR. It's just like not my normal thing. They sent it to me, which I appreciate, and I'll drive it and see how I feel about it. But it's not like the type of car I would normally run, so it doesn't like really fit in my wheelhouse. The vintage Ultima was fun in a different way, so I think that's cool and should be fun. Ed McMahon was the announcer that said, "Here's Johnny." Oh, gotcha. Or am I saying McMahon wrong? McMahon, Mahon, MAHON. That's McMahon, right? Man, I don't know. Are all the bearings in the Vanquish 3-year transmission the same as stock? No. I bought the black Vanquish and the top bearing won't fit. The trans housing is the same as stock, yes. So you probably have a 5x11 bearing that you're trying to put in rather than a 5x10 because the Axial 3 gear is a 5x10 top bearing. So Check your bearing sizes. Probably have the wrong one. Dancing rider sled pulls. I want to do a drag racing dancing rider just for myself because Matt still will not get a dancing rider no matter how much I've pushed him on it. Did Matt give you the Jeep body for the TRX4 build? From the TRX4 build? He did not send me that body from the TRX4 build off yet. I even sent him money in the last super chat on his live feed, but you know. Let's see. Will I ever build another Lully truck or do an old school build like the Scout kind of builds you did back in the day? So, I mean, if there's another Matt Zilla truck that comes around, very possibly. Scout build like I did in the day, that was just kind of a build that I really wanted to do at the time. And, you know, the Willys wasn't too unlike the Willys one that I did for Crawl Masters wasn't too unlike that whole Scout build, other than the fact that I did like hand-formed metal panels for that one. But that was just kind of, you know, that snowballed into it. I had planned to use the Lexan body that I had, and then that whole most used crawler rig, my VS410 Pro. It's actually in my vehicle right now, so it's not in here, but that's it's hammered. Username Talon. Where is he now? I don't know what that means. Favorite type of music? I don't know. I listen to a lot of random stuff from mumble rap to country. So it's just whatever. I don't listen to a ton of music though. So music's not like my big thing. Is anyone in California that you know of working on grants for building RC parks? I mean, not something I've ever looked into. He did do Publishers Clearinghouse. Okay, that's what I thought. The guy with the big checks. That's what I meant. What was your first RC car, truck, and first crawler year? Same truck, because when I got into RC, it was to get into crawling. It was actually in 2004, and I bought a used Tamiya TXT1. That was like the very beginning of crawling. I got on RC Crawler at the time as well. Kind of that's when it all started. There was no such thing as like 2.2s. There was definitely no such thing as 1.9s. So we were all using either Clodbusters, TXTs, or or at the time I think they were called X Factors. So, and then later 2.2s came to be a thing, and then the 1.9s became a thing when Tamiya released the TLT. So yeah, 2004 was when I started RC and started RC crawling. I've tried other areas of RC, but crawling side's always kind of been my avenue. Do I still have the Chrome Ultra 4? I do not. Do I have any cool stories about dinosaurs, or do you know any dinosaurs in person? Furthermore, who's your favorite dinosaur-based fictional character? Favorite dinosaur? Reptar. Definitely. You've played with gearing a lot. If you're limited to a 3S, then how low is too low when it comes to final gear ratio? 3S, actually almost any voltage I go with, I pretty much always stay with the same gear ratio. I like to stay between 40-1 and 50-1. So from there, I adjust the kV of the motor that I'm going to run for what voltage I'm going to run. So 40 to 50-1 final gear ratio in a truck like this, you're in pretty good shape. Well, not that one. The rest. Well, not that one either. Other than those two. The blue one. There. Though. Let's see. Are the stock SCX10 2 shocks worth rebuilding? You know, it's a slow day. Don't have anything else to do. Other than that, I don't know. No. Just put some more oil in them if you want more oil on your bench. Ever do tours of the Vanquish facility? We don't. We do for some friends and things like that, but for the most part, it's a pretty closed facility. I'm a sophomore in college studying engineering. Do you have any advice? Get through school. Just get through it. Find a job in your avenue and, just get through school, because after that, you learn a lot of what you actually need to know day to day and in the job world. So just get through school, learn how to interview well. Interview skills are lacking severely in the engineering world. So if you can learn how to interview well, you'll be in good shape. Let's see. Crispy chassis for sale near me. Where can I find out how to build it up? I've got a full build series on it. I think I did 8 episodes on it or something like that. It'd be cool to see. Send me a link on that on Instagram or Facebook. Let's see. Ed Mandela. It's called the Mandela effect. I don't know what that means. I have a TXT1 sitting here and a set of jumbo Kongs on it. Old school. Jumbo Kongs were popular for what we were doing because we were running 18-inch wheelbases, taking jumbo Kongs, which were these massive tires, and then narrowing them down to nothing. Oh, it was crazy. Have you ever thought about getting a low C Baja Ray or Rock Ray? I've had them both. Don't care for them. Just not my. I didn't really care for the Yetis either. So that's just not the type of truck I really enjoyed driving. So, pre-ordered a Vanquish fanny pack. No, you didn't. Can you run any battery voltage if running a BEC? No, because the ESC, not all ESCs can just accept any voltage. This thing is 2S to 3S LiPo. It says it right on there. So no, if you plug more voltage in it than that, then oftentimes those things will open their can of magic smoke. My first crawler was a Wheelie King 4x4 that I converted into a crawler. It was great for 12 years. Now I have an SCX-10 raw builder's kit. Love it. So, I obviously had a bunch of crawlers, but many didn't know that a lot of us had Wheelie Kings. I had built a Wheelie King crawler as well, but I had to buy 2 Wheelie Kings because when those things came out, they were 2-wheel drive. So you actually had to buy 2 and then put the parts into the front axle of the other one to make it 4-wheel drive. Quite the pain in the butt. Have I ever tried to make an RC replica from my real truck? No. I have a stock 4-door Wrangler. It's not that exciting. Hey, Rich, Mr. Trujillo. Let's see. This was lots of fun. Thanks for joining, Mark. I appreciate it. Let's see. Is the VS410 Pro with the rear portal axle crawler? Yes, the VS4 Pro with the rear portal axle is the one that I drive the most. I just really enjoy driving that truck. I left it in the Jeep for right now. Otherwise, I would grab it. What happened to the Scale News? Slow time of year, needed a break. I'll bring it back. Probably, hopefully, possibly, maybe this week. We'll have to go start unpacking. There you go. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. What is the car on the box behind you that I mentioned? That is the Kyosho Phaser MK2. There's the box for it. It's the Alpine version. Alpine? I think it's Alpine. I think that's how you say that. I don't know. Pretty sure. What do I think is the best builder's kit for a Class 2 comp style rig? Man, if you're staying comp style, you're really looking at, are you trying to be competitive? Because, if you're trying to be ultra competitive, then, that's when a lot of times these super lightweight and crazy transmissions and, so there isn't going to be a kit that is just going to be a competitive competition style truck. So, VS410 truck is a great truck, super durable, going to do great. It's got I love driving mine. It's the one that I prefer driving the most, but even it's not like, it's not solely designed at being that competition. So, you just have to be realistic with what your expectations are. If you want to be competitive, it's like you're going to spend 12 to $1,500, and you're going to have a lot of stuff that probably isn't going to be the most durable things in the world, just to make sure that you're, being on that ragged edge of performance. So it's, are you running 2700 kV brushless in the Capra with stock pinion gear? What's your thoughts on the speed? It is too fast. I am running it with the stock. I had got that motor and ESC on the way before I realized what the gearing was in the Capra. So personally, I would go like 2300 kV or lower. It's too fast. I'm running a Polar Pro, so it's still got plenty of low speed control, but in general, it's got more speed than it needs. So it's not what I would run. And there isn't really enough gearing adjustment ability in that with that motor setup. So being that they've got that weird idler gear between the main spur and that, you can't just change the spur gear. So, one of those things. Let's see. Yes, I got my Wheelie King 4x4 right after it was released, planned on converting to a crawler from the start. Yes. So that was before the Crawler King even too. What is my next event? Oh man, what is my next event? It's kind of time of year where we don't actually have like too many big events or any big events for the rest of the year. We just have like local stuff, and I think there might be something up in like Butte County, which might have 100 people or something like that, but nothing like big. So I really don't know what my next big event is. I'll have Crawl Masters again, likely in early February, something like that. Looking forward to that one. Are SCX 10.2 Rock Jock carrier saddles available? They're not available separately, if that's what you mean. We want Vanquish fanny packs. Yes, I know. Are you and Matt going to do a monthly mayhem challenge, Proline by the Fire again next year? I don't think that Matt is going to make it to Proline by the Fire again this year. So since we're going to do scale nationals, both of us, I think that is going to mean that Proline by the Fire might not happen. So probably means no monthly mayhem finale at Proline by the Fire again. I'll be there, but still. Okay, so no more dinosaur questions. Thanks for that. Thanks for being here. What's cool to interact with you guys who do fun stuff and don't take it too seriously, even when they do take it too seriously, if you get my drift. Yes. Body magnets or pins? I use pins still, mainly because I drive aggressively and magnets don't hold like I would normally, require. Thoughts on the Hobbywing Axe? I've got the 2300 and that 1.9 Wraith over there. I just don't like the feel. It's this weird, it takes, and instead of making the trigger like your torque, like the amount of torque you're applying, it tries to make it your speed. So you pull the trigger and it says, if half throttle needs to be 5 miles an hour, it gives it enough torque to get it to 5 miles an hour and keep it there. But that means if you come up to a ledge and then all of a sudden it's in like a bind, it's like, oh, I need to put a bunch of power in this thing to try and make it come up over this. So it tries to make it smooth, but in effect, then it's always doing this torque modulating for you rather than you doing it the old school way with your finger. And I think it takes out a lot of the feel of the car. I think you feel disjointed from it. And just for that reason in general, I don't like the Hobbywing Axe systems. And they're low on power. Just in comparison to everything else, they're too low on power. Thoughts on the Sidewinder 4? I have a Sidewinder 4 in the blue mud truck down there. And for me, worked great. I think I've got a 1410 3800 kV brushless in that. And for what I needed, it did great. Let's see. Hello, Ed. I am excited for Proline by the Fire as well. Going to be a good one. Let's see. Would I grow my beard out? No, it's already. This is too long for me. I don't like it. I would rather have it really short all the time, but that's too much work too. It grows too fast. Have you ever been asked a question within a question, and did you question it? I don't know. Did I? Boom. Build another metal cage for something. I hope to. Hopefully soon. I actually probably will bring my fab table and stuff here with my welders. Then if I can do that, I'll have, a lot more ability to do that again. So probably again for Scale Nationals. So, or maybe for Crawl Masters again, hopefully. And I have tons of projects that I want to do metal work on. I just haven't. Do I own any Crocs? I do not. I do not endorse sandals. I was in California last week and everything was brown. Is it that way? Oh, yes. So it's very weird for me. I come from the Midwest where in the summer things are green and in the winter things are brown. Here it is brown during all of the months except winter. So winter, it rains here. Things get green. Then the spring comes and brown. And that is why everything catches on fire. Vanquish dig unit possible in a Wraith 1.9. Yes, it is. It's a 3-gear transmission, so you'll need to put in a case that will accept a Vanquish dig. But other than that, should go right in. I don't think I put one in that truck. I can't remember. I haven't touched my 1.9 Wraith in a long time. Have I ever used J Concepts crawler bodies? And if so, how did they turn out for you? The only J Concepts body I've used was on the Willys for the Crawlmaster. And I was disappointed with the Lexan quality. It was kind of not like thin. It was decently made there, but it had like a little bit of wave to it, which was weird. And then I didn't like their stickers. But other than that, like the actual thickness and all that seemed to be pretty well. Let's see. How about separate saddles for first gen SCX10 Rock? I don't know what you mean like bearing caps? Still not available separately. And we don't make that style anymore. Let's see. Have I ever tried a G-Speed chassis? No. Again, it's just another flat rail chassis. It looks like all the others. So I don't see it. I don't see a reason to. Hello, thanks for joining. All the people, Bryant, Muzzy, your F100 build is coming along well. I like it. Always liked that truck. Let's see. If you grow your beard out, you need to live in Midtown Sac and shop at Whole Foods, plaid shirts, and collect pallets. I need to make all of my furniture out of pallets. And Crocs are sandals, period. Yes, Crocs are sandals. That is not if I search Croc sandals, if I just search for sandals and can get, okay, here's what we're going to Google. Foam like sandals. Foam sandal. Let's see. Images. And my Google search is going to be way messed up now, I'm sure. Or my shopping recommendations. Okay, well, there's not like immediately a set of Crocs that pops up, but they're definitely sandals. Okay, well, I didn't make my own point, but still. Thoughts on the new J Concepts crawler tires? I posted those on my story yesterday on Instagram. They look interesting. Maybe they'll be good. Thanks for the live chat. Thanks for joining. Your life isn't complete until you own a pair of Crocs. Sometimes you just need to live on the edge. Will Vanquish offer Axial housings and parts for the Enduro platform? Possibly. Have you ever tried BGR fabrication cages? I've never had one of his. Crocs are clogs. Isn't a clog still kind of a sandal? You got to get the Crocs with the flames. They make you faster. Will the new dig unit fit the 109 trans? Yes. The VFD dig will fit the VFD transmission kit version as well. I finally got busy and finished my VS410 and about 5 other trucks together. Now I need 3 more receivers and speed controls to catch up. Yeah, speed controls and motors and servos. Those are always the tough ones. I don't understand why people don't like 2.2 rigs as much as 1.9 rigs. I love my bomber a lot more than my SCX-10-2 I sold last month. You know, it's an interesting thing. I personally used to prefer 2.2 as well. My bomber especially was one of my favorite trucks. But then I just kind of eventually also transitioned to driving my scale trucks more. They're a little bit more diverse as far as like the platforms and what you can build out of them compared to the bombers and things like that. I think that's one of the things, is that there hasn't been a platform like a bomber or like an SCX-10-2 that's a bomber size to make 2.2 more reasonable than there, because there isn't bodies that would fit very well, and just, you know, it's like this big thing. It's a lot of it is just the availability of things that fit in that genre to make them popular aren't there. So then you end up with 1.9. Let's see. Do you think a stock RC4 drive Mojave 2-door looks scale height-wise compared to if it was lowered a little bit? I assume you mean like with a, I don't know, you know, tire size and things like that, like how those tires would actually scale out to an upgraded tire or a tire size that would be appropriate. And then Toyota guys do weird things anyway, so it would likely be too tall and not perform in all of the normal Toyota things. So probably, you know, clogs are Dutch and made of wood. But yeah, I know what clogs are, but aren't clogs just wood Dutch sandals? I still think it's a sandal. Missed the first half. How's the flip that truck? Basically similar to how you've seen it in the last ones. Just worked on a few detail things here and there. I haven't made a ton of progress, so that's why you haven't seen another video on it. But we'll get there. Mainly, we've been sitting here doing this, reading the chat, responding to ridiculous dinosaur-related messages and things of that sort. Would a dig let my 6x6 get around a corner? That's an interesting one, because with a 6x6, you'd be locking up 2, assuming that you have 2 drive axles in the rear and 1 in the front. I don't know. I mean, probably help, but with that many axles and tires holding it down in the back, could be difficult. Boo to Crocs. Need boots to ward off rattlesnakes. There you go. Crocs with alien compound. Crocs are a failed attempt at a sandal. Let's see. Your favorite TX and receiver, or transmitter and receiver. This is my next purchase. Currently, I have bought, which I don't have in here. I went driving today, so a lot of my stuff's in the vehicle. But I picked up the Talbot 4PM. It's a replacement for the 4PV, which was my most recent, long time used radio. 4 channels, tons of features, and receivers are super cheap, like $30. The receivers I use are so you can use. So the receiver that it comes with is this one, which is a telemetry receiver. It's the R304 SB, which is good. But the ones that I buy are these, which are the 2106 GF. These things are cheap. They're like $30 retail or $28 retail. So it makes it pretty easy to drop receivers in. Let's see. Whoa, what happened there? Wow, I am a long ways behind. All right, let's catch up again. Why are RC companies fading away? Some of them are. It's mismanagement sometimes, and I don't know. You can customize RC or 2.2 rigs a lot if you build your own chat, sure, but that's not a realistic reason of why 2.2s are fading away and are not popular. Let's see. Oh, you're saying fading away like Vatera. That's not something that's fading away. That's more of a decision of a company that owns a competing brand now that they have found more success in. So therefore, it seems more lucrative or likely to push that brand rather than a brand that was a competitor to, before they owned Axial, Vatera was their their competing brand, and which was obviously less successful. And personally, I think didn't have as good of a vehicle. So now they've got another brand. Why, just push the one that's successful. Josh does not like Toyotas. I like poking people about Toyotas. I mean, I would probably own one, but normally I have better taste. In my opinion, which is more durable, SCX 10.2 or TF2? SCX 10.2. Much more durable. Will the Vanquish Crocs be available soon? Have you been to Have you been to Sword in the Stone or Catfish Pond above Donner? Yes, I've done Catfish a number of times. I don't know if I've been to Sword and Stone. I don't know what that one is. Let's see. Ever had problems running a Mamba X in a high humidity place like Bean Hollow? Mine starts beeping after running a while. No issues anywhere else. Starts beeping after running a while. I don't know. No, I have not had that same issue, and I lived in high humidity. Ever been out to King of the Hammers? And if so, do you ever plan on going back? I bought my first crawler out there 2 years ago, and it's pretty fun running RCs while watching the full-size trucks. I have been to King of the Hammers. Personally, I like watching the race better from afar. So the spectating is just not as good out there. And unless I have like really good accommodations, I don't want to go back. Like I roughed it a little bit more the last time and it was a little rough. So if I had a very comfortable, living situation there, I would consider it more. But, so you're saying a 2.2 Yoda can't hang. I guess I need to come down. I don't know what that means. I bought my VS410 chassis kit, offset D44s, incision shocks, drive shaft, VFD transmission kit. It's a monster. Yes, that is very similar to that one. You should have an awesome truck. Now you just have to decide what body and all of that. I'm pre-ordering the DX5 Rugged Orange. Can't wait to get it. I've seen a little bit of complaints about the programming interface on the DX5 Ruggeds. Just look into it. Maybe the DX5C would be a better choice for you if you want to stay with Spectrum. Personally, I'm a photographer person, but if you're going to pick up a Spectrum, I suggest looking into people's complaints with the Rugged and possibly looking at going with like the DX5C instead. Just a heads up. Any ideas on Scale Nat's builds for this year? Oh, God, that's such a good question. And I don't know, and I have to come up with some ideas. So if I can get Matt to commit to it, I'd like for us to do, some informal, but a series of our path to it. And, because I think I'm going to have to build all 3 trucks new. I don't think that I'll use anything that I have currently running as any of my class vehicles. So I have a lot of work to do, and I really don't have many ideas. I've got that JP1 body right there, which is kind of cool. I won a RC four-wheel drive Forerunner hard body kit at the ASD event in the raffle. I could use that for a class 1 possibly. If I put leaf springs on it, then Matt has to eat his hat, so there's that option. But I also bought a Tamiya Pajero hard body, which I kind of like and would be kind of fun, but I don't know. And then class 3 should just be something crazy and fun. Is it worth changing my C2X from SCX10 to SCX10 tube type axles? Yes, I would say absolutely. I'm going to be building a 2.2 bomb soon. Oh, wait, bomb. Either way, still no. First 2.2 rig, can't wait for that. Sexy clickety-clack transmission. Yeah, putting even more stress onto that bomb transmission. I still have mine. It's just, it's like G-Made coming out with something that could be good. And then, you know, as they say, tripping over their own, you know, Christmas idea. VP wooden ripper. Damn, that would be cool. That's a really good idea. That's funny. What can be put inside the fuel cell that's built into the VS410 chassis? I mean, candy, you know, lights, wiring, I don't know, water, I don't know. Use it for whatever you want. It's got a little wire channel. You can route stuff in there or not. Put whatever you want in there. Let's see. How about the Spectrum servo that had the receiver built in? Never saw them go far. It was a servo that had a receiver built in? I never even saw that. It's like kind of a cool idea, but you know, servos are one of the more common things that could have an issue. So any news on HPI? I heard some rumors lately, but nothing that I could say, you know, substantiate. So no. Let's see. Oh man, where to jump to? I have 15 Toyotas. Wow. Croc RC build kit. Okay, man. Let's see. With all of your knowledge, if you didn't own any RC cars, which are the first 2 you purchase? VS410 Pro. Oof. The second one's the hard one. VS410 Pro and then a Dancing Rider. There you go. There's the 2. Do I have a set of VS410 axles I can snag? Oh, I see what you're saying. You know, you can message me, Dion. Would you ever consider modifying a Tamiya CR01? Oof. Wow. I had one of those right when they came out. But no. Even then, I didn't have any. Even right when it came out, I had no interest in it. I was like, oof. It was another overcomplicated Tamiya. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, your red brute build would look good with the set of the D44s. Hit the like, yes, hit the like button. There's 153 of you in here, and I have 92 likes. What's going on? Thanks for joining, though. Anyway, even if you don't hit the dislike if you dislike it. There's a button for that, too. It actually doesn't do anything different for the video. It's still engagement. So if you really dislike the video, just don't hit a button. That's a bigger hit than anything. You just don't hit the like button or the dislike. There you go. top tip. If you don't like somebody on YouTube, just don't hit the button. I just got done painting the JP1. It's one of the nicest Lexington bodies I've seen. I have, well, as you can see, it's not painted, but it does appear to be nice. MST does certain things pretty well. Let's see. There's a sensitivity setting on the Spectrum Rugged that helps with the adjustability, night and day improvement. Well, that's good. Stephen Lee, long time. It's been like 12 hours, maybe less. Let's see. Why is so many people, mainly TRX4 owners, go for brass happy with so much weight? It's one of those, just they don't know any better, you know, and the TRX4s are so top heavy that they, you know, they need tuning, and the easiest way to do it is just throw weight at it rather than like actually kind of address the problem. So, and then it's just like, that's the upgrades. There's all these brass upgrades. I should buy the upgrades and throw brass bumper mounts on it. And telling you, my new brass XT60 plugs are going to solve all of these problems. Let's see. What is the most scale RC in your lineup, and will you ever do a full-scale styrene body build? The most scale would probably be my Ripper. You know, it's a realistic cage, realistic body panels, all of that. And full scale or full, you know, styrene, possibly for gnats. Bedtime for Josh. What time is it? 9:30. Not bad at all. Let's see. What is this dancing rider? You've never seen a dancing rider? The tiny dancer. See? Anyway, dancing rider is what it leans to steer. It's the most amazing thing you've ever seen. God. Didn't know what a dancing rider was. Let's see. Why is it so hard to find a body that's not a Toyota or Range Rover? Because people make bodies of things that are popular in a genre. Nobody wants, like the 9 people that want a 1992 Dodge, you know, Ram truck because that's what their dad had when they grew up. It's like, that's not what's going to be popular and sell. So that's why you see Jeeps and Toyotas and things like that. Injora has a few hard bodies. I would still not support that brand. Let's see. Always enjoy your videos and kind of fun live. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Dislike croc button. I tried hitting like button repeatedly, and no, I don't. And I don't live the stream. I don't know what you mean. Like the stream. Oh, there you go. I liked it the first 2 minutes. Thank you. Whoa. See, when I'm so far behind, it scrolls too fast. Do I prefer the 1.9 Wraith at the 2.2? Personally, I like driving 1.9s now more, so 1.9 Wraith. Thoughts on decal wraps for crawler bodies? And here's a like. Thanks for the like. Decal wraps, I actually like that style as long as it's fitting for, you know, what you're doing. But I've used that a lot in the past. It's something I still like to use on occasion, so I like it. When is VP coming out with brass axles? I know you want a set. I would do it just for the fun factor. Like, how funny. Which kits you built that you enjoyed the most? Man, I don't know. It's like I don't know. I enjoy even a bad RC kit. It's still fun, you know. Even if you're just talking crap on a live stream, it's still just fun. Like I do all of this stuff because I have fun with it, even if it's just fun. So just enjoy them all while you're working on them. Crocs are like dinosaurs if you really think about it. I don't want to know how you connected those two dots. Will the Comanche hardbody with cage front fit? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Let's see. Vanquish upgrades for the Dancing Rider. Like, it's been thought about, but in reality, probably should just stay towards trying to keep up with products that are like actually popular and not my crazy weird obsession with this Japanese fever dream of an RC. Let's see, just picked up a crawler for the first time in 10 years, had an AX10 and a Losi MRC. Now I'm running a Deadbolt after, hey, thank you. So Deadbolt's a great one. It's just a simple, fun, I like it. Hey, I have several Ram trucks. Whatever happened to your Ibex goat build? Oh, I sold that to a guy who owned a full-size goat Ibex chassis. I think HPI used to make a 90s Durango body. I need one badly because I really want to replicate. Was it HPI or I thought it was like Parma who made the Durango. I need an 84 Ram truck and a Ram Charger. Nobody needs a Ram Charger. It's available, but Ram Chargers have never been cool. Happy Veterans Day tomorrow. Yes, agree. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you to all that served or served, either tense. I'm glad you had your shorts on. I was afraid you were going to show. Yes, I have pants on. I'm not going to read that question out loud. Why a 1.9 Wraith over an SCX-10 II? I didn't say that. I would probably rather an SCX-10 II over a 1.9 Wraith. But I said I would rather have a 1.9 Wraith over a 2.2 Wraith. But they're kind of different vehicle. I don't know. I like them both. Why are crawler bodies so high priced? I don't know. I mean, are they that high priced? I guess it depends. Which one's high priced? Like, what are you comparing it to? Any recommended upgrades for stock SCX-24? No, I've never upgraded it. Put some brass on a TRX4, top heavy body. What do I suggest? I suggest watching all of the TRX4 Sport budget build videos. 5 months ago, I didn't have a single RC. Now I've got 13. Jesus. I don't know that I've got 13 new RCs in 5 months. I don't know. I don't think Let's see. Honest answer. Do you have an orange toothbrush? No, I have a blue toothbrush currently. You and Matt should do a live stream build race of the ECX Barrage kit. They make a kit version of that? Huh. Did not know that. I need to start my Nitro Enduro. That's funny for more than one reason. Let's see. Have you ever considered turning an X-Max into a sled dog and using it to go on a beer run when you're blast? Because technically that's not driving. Yeah. I can't drink anymore. Like I can't even drink beer. It gives me a migraine now. I miss it. Now I drink LaCroix, grapefruit, sparkling water. When I used to do live Hangout videos in my shop, I would be drinking beer. Not anymore. moved to California and got a gluten allergy. Soy, I don't know. Let's see. Can you recommend a good starter trail rig looking to get into the hobby? SCX 10.2, Enduro, or TRX4 Sport? Either of those. Any of those. Crawler body. Let's see. On the Proline Profusion SC 4x4, have you built one yet? If so, how far does the servo saver go down? It's almost hit all the way, and the collar's still moving. So I did build one. Here is my Profusion. I think I did an upgraded servo. Yeah, I installed an upgraded servo saver thing in there, like their upgrade kit. It's aluminum and stuff, but yeah, this was from another one of the monthly mayhems. I have a lot of stuff in here, but now that we've done this live video, I've pulled it all off shelves, and so it's all just spread around the floor. Let's see. Still saving for the first crawler. Yeah, you know, it's how that goes. Spend your money well, though. Don't go with the wrong one and then end up with something that's going to cost you more in the long run. My Element Enduro, did I ever encounter the panhard link coming into contact with the diff case or the brace of the diff? I don't know what you mean. I took my Element Enduro, I actually swapped to a VS410 chassis later down the road. And, you know, I actually think I put my panhard mount on the front side of the panhard mount that is for the VS410. And that's how I got around any of the interference that I had. It's not a problem until you run out of room in all your ICs. Ask me how I know. See, I have mine spread out. I've got, you know, like in this room, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I have 20 RCs in this room. Yikes. And then I've got my Capra and my VS4 Pro in the vehicle, or in my car in the garage. And then I've got probably another, man, I bet I have close to this many more at the shop still. Oof. I have a lot of cars currently, and I don't keep all my cars. Like I tend to sell them off, but man, I have a lot of cars. I didn't know I had 20 in this room. Let's see. Just got a UDR 2 years ago. What would you do at first? Drive it? I don't know. I've never driven one. Favorite snack? Oh, beef jerky. For sure. Spicy beef jerky of some sort. Any plans on a Capra upgrade or budget build series? Probably not budget build. Upgrades, probably, just because I've driven it now a little bit and it needs some changes to try and make it handle well. So likely some changes or some upgrades, and then as things go. Toy-in 4-stroke nitro in a crawler, just a fad. Could be fun. We've thought about that. Tried White Claw, tasted like Crocs. If you could have any one rig back in your collection, which would you choose? Oh man, that's a good question. Oof. I don't know. Maybe the Scout, maybe. I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm not usually that. I don't mind seeing a vehicle go. I feel like I can build it better the next time. So if one leaves, I'm usually fine with it, ready for the next time. I'm a head out. Nice. SpongeBob. Let's see. Never got the 80s rap for the Pro Fusion. I never did. It never. Let's see. A Summit LT conversion would be comparable to your Pro Fusion, but have locking diffs. Yeah, but then you'd have that big old Summit transmit. I don't know. I don't see it. I should do a monthly mayhem where you have to run a course wearing Crocs, and then the loser has to eat the winner's dusty Crocs. Jesus Christ. Put enough 57 sauce on anything, probably be fine. I have been looking at the Everest 10. I know I need upgrades, but what's the actual opinion on those? It's kind of one of those things that you'd probably be better off. You just save a little bit longer, get an SCX 10-2 or an Enduro or a TRX 4 Sport. You'll be much better off. Do I think the 1.9 Wraith is worth the money? Yes. I enjoyed it. I have fun with it. I haven't driven mine in a long time, but when I did, I liked it. It was a fun truck. It's the type of vehicle that I like as well. So how many RCs do you have in total? Man, I don't know. I mean, I've got 2 more TRX 4s at the shop. I've got the monthly mayhem car. I've got my Red Cat. I don't know. And then just a bunch of other my Outcast. I think I've got a Wraith. No. I don't know. I probably, that's another 5. And then I know I probably have 5 or 10 more that I can't remember. I'd probably have a better idea if I just opened my radio and went through my channel, my model memory. Let's see. I got one RC here in the living room and a wife with a stink eye glaring on me watching this video, waiting for you to say servo. You guys playing a weird drinking game where every time I say servo? My first crawler rig was an SCX 10-2 Honcho, and if I started all over, I'd start with a Honcho again. Honcho's just a good rig. It's a good-looking truck. The SCX 10-2 version's nice. Try Alien Beef Jerky outside the south entrance to Death Valley. Excellent. Is that I assume that's the one out on my way back from Vegas, which I normally do stop at and get there. I'll usually get the 3. If you get 3, you get a deal, right? So I'll get their ghost pepper version, a peppered, just a straight old school peppered one. And then usually they have a sweet and hot one. But I'll get the ghost pepper one because it's usually so hot that it actually makes you eat it slowly. And on a long road trip like that, then at least I don't just eat 3 bags of beef jerky. Let's see. But personally, it's not my, I like beef jerky to be super dry. I'd like it to be hot, but super dry. And that Alien jerky is really oily. So I have a very hard time finding beef jerky I really like, but yeah, really dry beef jerky. Pretty good. Let's see. I'm in South Carolina. Have I ever visited? South Carolina. I don't know if I've ever been in Carolina. I've done Tennessee and Alabama and Georgia, but I don't know that I've ever done South Carolina. I don't think I have. Thanks for stopping by, Brian. Oh, you're going to come Proline this year. Good to see. Yeah, looking forward to it. Do I have a budget build series you're planning on soon? No, not right now. Usually after a budget build, we're we need a break. So, but probably. Thanks for the video building the Gmade gum. Helped me a lot. Hopefully, did it help you buy it or not buy it? After all my setups, my Axial SCX-10-2 kit is by far my favorite. Eventually getting a dig. You'll have fun with it. Get a dig. Have I ever thought about doing a monthly Mayhem boat edition? Yes. Or making something into a boat. Not like using a boat. Maybe turning a boat into a crawler? Fastest boat, but on land? You should do a monthly Mayhem with the Axial 6x6 or the Traxxas TRX6, like a drag 6x6 or high-speed 6x6 truck. We were talking a little bit about that earlier, but with the Tamiya semis 6x6. I want to upgrade my SCX-10-2 to brushless, but I love driving hood deep in fresh water. Know a decent brushless setup that can be submerged and doesn't cost a ton. Doesn't cost a ton. Okay. So Castle Mamba X is waterproof. And then you need a waterproof motor. I think the Castle motors are waterproof. While they're not my preference on motors, you should be able to pick up one of those combos pretty cheap. So there you go. How about Florida? Done Florida a bunch of times. Not for crawling though, just because I don't know where you would crawl. That state is pretty flat. But I actually used to visit Florida a lot. There's some jerky places around here that are damn good. Try to find your PO box number and ship you some. Awesome. Did I ever do anything with Squirrel OD way back in the day? He was the first RC YouTuber I followed. I miss his Cooking with Nitro podcast. So I actually did a mud truck for him way back. I love the Miss Geico boats. They're fat. That's the bright green catamaran one. Those are cool. Ever thinking of selling 2019 Crawlmasters rig? I did sell that truck. That now belongs to Matt Healy. He put a VFD trans in it, and it looks good. Put crawlers on it, VFG crawlers, which it needed. It looks really good now. So, but yes, I did sell it. Any old RC bodies you would like to see come back? Oh, that's a good question. Yes, the Proline CJ8 Scrambler. That one I wish would come back. Just so you can have CJ front clips. And it's like a good size so that it fits well. Another Jeep. Everybody needs another Jeep. Am I going to USTE 2020? I'm not. I just don't think that event's is much for me. Let's see. Scale Mountain in Bellevue, previously RRW. Oh, yeah, I've seen the track that they built there, but normally I meant like actual like natural terrain is what I meant by I didn't know where you would crawl, but yes, natural. Hey, from Australia, keep up the great work. Inspire me to get out and find cool places. Hey, cool. There's so many cool places around here. It is fun to get out and find new ones. I just counted 61 RCs in my living room and probably 10 more out in my trailer and a huge pile of RC10 GT parts in my other house, plus a new GT in the box. I am picturing quite a scene. Am I friends with the SBG? I'm aware of him. Like, I know who he is. I don't know about friends. Yes, I'm friends with Matt. Thoughts about the KLR M tires? Just got mine ordered up. They look like the full-size USD stickies or something like that. So that's what you're going after. I've seen them work in person. They seem to work pretty well. I don't care for the style, but if that's the style you're after, then they seem like a perfect fit. I want you to know Florida has a spot that is 259 feet above sea level. Is that really the highest elevation in Florida? That's amazing. What are my favorite tires and compound? The crawler, that's the BFG crawlers from Proline. And probably my favorite compound is still the G8, just because it's the most versatile. I like the Predator, but it's not as versatile as the G8. So if I like didn't necessarily know exactly what I was doing, like whatever, just crawlers and G8, set of crawler innovation foams and set to go. Let's see. Am I going to do the Traxxas TRX6? I don't know. I just have to find the right reason to, I guess. Like without like a specific reason, I don't know that I would just pick it up. So I thought it was 260 feet. I thought it was a 260 foot trash pile. Must be settling. Oh my God. Favorite foams. I mean, crawler innovation foams for whatever tire I happen to be using at the time. Usually that means like some sort of dual stage, closed cell inner, open cell outer, soft front, medium rear. That's like my general go-to. Yeah. So let's see. Yes, it is. And most good roller coasters are higher. Well, it looks like I've finally caught up with the chat after 2 hours and 15 minutes. So, being that it is a Sunday night and almost 10 o'clock, probably a pretty good time to call this thing. Let's see. So we'll do 9 more minutes of this. So when it is 10 o'clock, we'll call it. Let's see. Where can I actually get VP 1.9 rings? Beadlock rings of multiple styles will be back before too long. That's something that we do plan to bring back, probably add some more, refresh some, stuff like that. TRX6 is a game changer. It's coming from a hardcore technical crawler. I get it. It's just, it's like not 6x6s just aren't something I would always necessarily drive. Oh yeah. Well, hopefully some of you have Veterans Day off. Hopefully, some of you veterans actually have Veterans Day off. That would be more appropriate. Let's see. Currently midnight here. Got to go to work. Yes, only 10 here. Will I do more scratch builds like the Ibex? It just depends. Has to be. I'll probably do one before too long because I want to build a class 3 and I'll likely do kind of a scratch build for that. How difficult is it to choose music for your videos? Very difficult. I buy all my music from, or I subscribe to a service called Epidemic Sound. It's like $30 a month or something like that. And that's where I get all my music, but it still sucks. It's still hard to pick. Let's see. What charger do I use? Over there on that shelf, I've got a ProTech 4-place charger called where is it? It's up there. It's a 4-place Prodigy of some sort. And then I also have a Venom Pro Duo. So the Pro Duo doesn't do lithium high volt or lithium iron packs. So my life packs and my lithium high volt, I have to use my ProTech. So that's what I use most of the time. Who is Harley and what kind of Zoomer surname is Designs? I assume that you made a typo there. Are there sandburrs in Cali? Sandburrs, like there is in Florida. You have to find a foot race. What? Matt wearing? I don't know. If you can have a foot race, what is a sandburr? Any support for either 6x6 Axial or Traxxas? Yeah, it's just such a narrow market that it's hard. It's a hard one. Is the Capra kit better in stock form than the SCX-102 Cherokee kit version? What's better? Like more scale, like in whose eyes, or there's a lot. There's a lot to to qualify with that question. Do you think you'll make it back to Oregon next fall? Well, I think that event that I was at in Oregon will not be in Oregon next year. It's going to be in Wairika, which is California. And I do plan to go to that. So probably won't be in Oregon, but be near it. What axles is the Ibex chassis built off of? It was AR60s at the time. What's your thoughts on Kevin Talbot? It's not my style. Let's see. How come Vanquish isn't releasing parts for other companies' vehicles anymore? Just a matter of keeping up with vehicles that are out and our own parts and stuff like that. Let's see. Sorry for all the trolling. Thanks for being a good sport. Thanks for the questions. They were still fun. Let's see. Will colored 2.2 KMC Bullies be available? Not for a while, or not for, right now, 2.2 wheels aren't being produced. So it's just all focusing on trying to keep up with 1.9s. So that's why we've focused a lot on 1.9s, just because that's the much higher demand. So it's been more focused that way. I haven't, let's see, we have 4 minutes left. I have an SCX-102 Honcho, a TRX4 Sport. I bought it for my girlfriend, so it spends most of its time on the shelf. And I have an SCX-1024. What's a good choice to get next, just to have something different? So if you have a TRX4 Sport, you have an SCX-102. If you want something different, I mean, the best choice would be a VS410 Pro. But I mean, if you wanted to play around with a bomber, those are always fun. And something like substantially different than what you have, but still kind of in the vein of what's around and popular. It's a hard choice, because RC kind of has to, you have to pick your RC just specifically to find what's the right one for you. I'm a newbie. Thanks for the videos you put up on YouTube. Almost finished with my Capra. Well, have fun with it. How's the quality of the two-door Jeep truck? The body, I assume you mean the JP1 body. It's actually really nice. So, Sandbird looks like a very small sea urchin. Any mods on your HPI venture? Yes, I did the for sale mod where I sold it. I do not own a venture anymore. Being the fact that the company really doesn't exist, it didn't seem like a really good idea for me to keep it. Heading to Donner on Tuesday. I have to show you Sword and Stone on the north side of Lake Angela, not far from Cafe. Oh, interesting. You have to. I'll be interested to see what that is. I'm hooked on 4-link cars. Yes. I'm linked cars for me. I like a 3-link front with panhard and all that. Will you be doing the 3D printed grill on the Yoda, or using the decals it comes with? What? Oh, you mean on this for the flip that truck? Well, I won't be using the decals it comes with, because I got a deal on this body, which specifically was because it didn't have decals. So I actually have to I'll probably just be getting a set of decals. Or maybe I could get the 3D printed files and then print my own. It's a possibility. I don't know. We'll see. Will you make Capra with portals? I have made a Capra with portals. Done. Boom. Well, it's been a fun night. Lots of laughs. Thanks for joining, Dion. Appreciate it. Good stuff. Can I find original SCX? I don't know. Can you? I mean, there was probably 100,000 of them made. You shouldn't have too hard of a time finding them. Don't pay too much. Let's see. Got to get in the car. There's no Wi-Fi there. Got to go. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. You got to build a red cat Gen 8, please. I'm not. I can't. Between the bomber and the Capra and Wraith, which would you say is the best and why? I mean, you talking 1/9 Wraith, 2/2 Wraith? I don't know. They're different things for different purposes. I would always choose a bomber over a 2.2 Wraith myself. I like the Wraith 1.9 though, and the Capra I'm still trying to get in the groove with. Let's see. I'm gonna have to Google sandbird. Yes, if you do mean bird, I don't know what a sandbird is. Can I find SCX10 diff gears? Probably. I don't know. Yeah, yes, absolutely. Because they're the same as current ones for bombers and stuff like that. We have them on the Vanquish website, different ratios even. Boom. Axial portals on the SCX10-2. Is that possible? Vanquish makes portals that would bolt right on. So now, as far as the Capra portals, it doesn't have a panhard mount, and it's made for servo on Axial, and that wouldn't clear an SCX10-2 with the battery location, things like that. So if you did it, you'd have to relocate a bunch of stuff and blah, 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 all that stuff. Good scale snow tire for a crawler. Snow. I don't know. I don't know. I don't drive in the snow very much. I'm not the right person to answer that. I want to build a raw builds kit. Does it come with a book to measure the screws? The manual that comes with the raw builders kit is very easy and all matches up. And it is 10:01. I guess I'm late and everyone is leaving. Yes, it is time. I'm done. We're 2 hours and 30 minutes in. Recently got a SCX10-2 transmission top shaft. What a huge difference. Yes, takes all the slop out of the SCX10-2. So anyway, that's it. I'm done. My voice is shot. Thanks for joining. It was fun. Good use of a Sunday night. Instead of being productive, we just bullshit about our CL night. So hit the like button before you leave. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for hanging around. See you guys next time.